We will call the February meeting of the Richland County Board to order. And joining us tonight will be Miranda Hagee, the Deputy County Clerk, ably standing in for Derek Kalish, who had an election today. So, Ms. Hagee, would you please take the roll?
Carroll,
Here.
Murphy Lopez, Brewer,
Here.
Seep,
Here.
McKee,
Here.
Renish, Luck, Manning, Gotchel, Glasspinner, Rudersdorf, Gentis, Turk,
Here.
Cosgrove, Frank, Severson, Williamson, Cooey,
Here.
Fleming. Here. Boyce,
Here.
McGuire. Mr. Chair, we have 16 for a quorum.
Is the roll completed?
Yes.
Do we have quorum?
Yes, 16.
Thank you. Joining us tonight is Monsignor Shekel of St. Mary's, and he will lead us in an invocation and remain standing after that. And Ms. Hagee will then lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Monsignor?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, pour forth your grace upon the members of this county board, that they may deliberate with the wisdom and knowledge necessary to successfully address the challenges and concerns that are before them this evening. May the deliberations of this body safeguard and further the common good, in order that your blessings become more manifest in the lives of the people of Richland County. Lord, we ask that you protect this region from any and all man-made and natural disasters. Bless our county, our state, and nation with harmony and peace, preserving us from factionalism and division. Keep us in your peace. And we ask all of this through your Son, Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor. We have a 24-point agenda tonight, and I'm looking for a motion to approve. Mr. McGuire, seconded by McKee. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We have approval of the agenda. The minutes of the January 17th meeting were also published. Does anyone have any questions, amendments, corrections? If not, I'm going to declare those approved as published. Brings us to number 6, public comment. This is a new item on our agenda, and I have a member of the public waving at me, and if you'd please identify yourself and tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you. My name is Jill Vestudo.
And I've been attending a few of the minutes or the meetings now. And it's just a pleasure to watch you people at work. I know that Richland County has many, many, many tough issues. And I also know that this county board is probably not your full-time job, but it has to have taken hours and hours of research and thought to come up with some of the creative answers that you've come up with to solve these problems. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you folks for your service.
Thank you. Boy, I'll take all those kind of public comments we can get. Anyone else? This would be a chance for any board member, if you want to appear as a member of the public, to make a comment. I'll accept that as well. McGuire, got anything to say?
I just want to comment, I really believe in this public comments. Boards all over the country are now imposing this as being one of the most important.
Well, I think we can thank you for bringing this to our attention. So. Okay. A report on positions for zoning amendments received since the last county board session. Mr. Bindle.
Is this on? Here's a petition by Kenneth and Karen Edgerly to rezone 6.08 acres from agricultural forestry to agricultural residential, section 34, Town of Buena Vista. There's a petition by Cormax Group / Max Harn to rezone 29.68 acres from agricultural forestry to agricultural residential and residential 2, sections 4, 8, 9 in Town of Dayton. And there's a petition by Phyllis Anderson to rezone 2.34 acres from ag forestry to residential 2, section 13, Town of Bacon.
Okay, and any recommended for denial?
Nope.
Okay, but you should probably remain there because our next item on the agenda is the resolution classifying a position in the zoning department. Ms. Heggie, would you please read the resolution?
This will be resolution number 23-9. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby granted for the above listed position, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Finance and Personnel Standing Committee on 7 February of 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. McKee? Need a second? Ms. Fleming? And Mr. Bindle?
The reason for this is that Nick Newkirk, that used to be the Assistant Zoning Administrator, Sanitation, and GIS person, retired back in September. We're having a hard time filling that position, so we are cutting the position down just to be Assistant Zoning Administrator and Sanitarian. I'm sure everyone knows that I don't have a administrative assistant anymore, so I'm just a one-person office right now. And this would help benefit the office in case I go on vacation, sick, or leave.
Okay, so these are changes being made because we're unable to fill that position.
Right, I mean, it's pretty much an existing job, other than we just got rid of the GIS position part of the job description.
Any questions from the board? Okay, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the changes recommended in the zoning department signify by saying change in the job description, and that has been reviewed by Carlson Detman, I might add. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Thank you. Brings us to number 10. Resolution recognizing the retirement of an employee of the Health and Human Services Department. And I'll read this one myself. This is a resolution recognizing the retirement of an employee of the Health and Human Services Department, whereas Ms. Rose Cahoot was hired on June 7th, 2004 as public health ADRC nurse, and was appointed public health manager, local health officer on February 5th, 2018, and retired on January 30th, 2023. But that's not all. Like those commercials, that's not all. She served as the public health manager and local health officer during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I can attest that personally, we didn't know what to do. I mean, absolutely taken by storm by the pandemic, and daily, sometimes hourly, I would get calls. Close the county, close the county. The next call would say, enough with this masking BS. Let's open things up. So we had a variety of opinions. And through it all, the public health officer, Rose Cahoot, maintained a steady confidence and resolve and kept things from disintegrating into panic, I would say. She had her hand on the pulse of the county at that point, and I appreciate everything she did. Whereas the Health and Human Services and Veteran Standing Committee and County Board want to express a sincere appreciation for over 12 years of dedicated service. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that the County Board hereby expresses its sincere appreciation to Ms. Rose Cahoot for over 12 years of dedicated service as a public health nurse for Richland County, including 5 years public health manager and local health officer, and her leadership and dedication during the COVID-19 pandemic. The County Board wishes to Ms. Cahoot a long and happy retirement, and we will be sending a copy of this resolution to her. Do we have a copy with us tonight?
Don't know if we do, but we will certainly get one to Rose.
Yeah, well, anyway, Rose, come up here, please, because I want to embarrass you if I can. We'll have to pretend that we have a copy of the. Somebody would take a little picture of us, please. Send over here. Here, I'm gonna.
You think the chair of Health and Human Services and the director of Health and Human Services could get a picture along with the county board supervisor?
Come on up.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you. And Rose has promised to stay for the entire meeting. Even leave during the closed session, then come back. So I do appreciate that.
Mr. Chairman,
But if she needs to go, considering the roads, that's okay too. Yes.
may I just add a comment that I hope this shot in the arm is a real booster to her morale.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. Thank you. Okay. Moving right along. Number 11.
Mr. Chair, we need a motion.
Oh, yeah, we need a motion. So moved. Ingrid, seconded by Frank. All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Better not be. Okay. All right, thank you for the reminder. Number 11, a resolution approving a transfer of funds in the Health and Human Services Department. Ms. Hagee.
This will be resolution number 23-11. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that the following transfer of funds in the Health and Human Services Department be approved. The transfer of $46,078.96 from the Transportation Program Fund, which is Fund 63, to the County Aging Unit Car Replacement Fund, which is Fund 18, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Finance and Personnel Standing Committee on February 7, 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. Renish, seconded by Mr. Cosgrove. And we have Trish Clements here, the chair or the Director of Health and Human Services. She will tell us what we're doing.
Turn your mic on.
Sorry about that. Every year we receive funds from the state of Wisconsin for our 8521 grant, which is used to provide transportation services to those living with a disability and in the aging population. Any funds that are left over, the state mandates that we transfer into a trust fund that can be used for capital projects. Over the past few years, these funds have not been transferred, and when we connected with the auditors at the end of last year, they indicated that we need to do this through board resolution on a yearly basis.
Okay, so we do this every year, don't we?
Yes, it should be done every year, but the last couple of years it hasn't happened, but it should have.
Okay,
I move for approval of the motion, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Mr. Seep. Do I have a second? Ms. Fleming. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the resolution is adopted. And then we have a resolution number 12, approving the Department of Health and Human Services applying for and accepting a Treatment Alternatives and Diversion TAD grant. Ms. Heggie.
This will be resolution number 23-12. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby granted for the Health and Human Services Department to apply for and accept a Treatment Alternatives and Diversion grant for 2023 from the Wisconsin Department of Justice, according to which the department would act as the fiscal agent for the requested amount of the grant of $173,333 with an anticipated county match of up to $43,333 and with $16,230 of in-kind funding and $27,103 of cash matching being included in the 2023 HHS budget to meet the full match requirement. And be it further resolved that approval is hereby granted for the grant funds to be spent in accordance with the terms of the grant, and the Director of Health and Human Services, Ms. Tricia Clements, is authorized to sign on behalf of the county any documents necessary to carry out this resolution. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the county supervisor members of the Health and Human Services and Veterans Standing Committee on 9 February 2023.
Thank you. What's your pleasure out there? You've heard the resolution. Ms. Glesbrenner, do we have a second? Mr. Renish? Trish?
So this is a grant that Richland County has received since 2017. This provides the funds for our treatment court. We currently have a hybrid treatment court that covers both alcohol offenses and drug offenses. The in-kind match that was referenced is due to other employees of Richland County being a part of the treatment team. We can use those salaries to offset the cash.
Oh, so it's
cash
an
match.
in-kind
In-kind,
contribution,
yes.
right? Very good, very good. And I attended, at least the alcohol, attended one of the sessions for I wasn't being treated, but I was there. Maybe I should have been, but anyway, I was there, and it was very effective and quite a moving experience to see this. So, you've heard the resolution, you've heard an explanation. What's your pleasure out there? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Thank you, Trish. Drive carefully on the way back. Reedstone. Number 13, the resolution approving the payment of an invoice for the sheriff's office. Ms. Heggie.
This is resolution number 23-13. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that the following invoice for the sheriff's office is hereby approved. General Communications, Inc. of Madison for $20,640 for a 2023 maintenance contract for the sheriff's office radio system, and be it further resolved that the payment of this invoice shall be made from the maintenance agreement line in the sheriff's office, office's police radio account in the 2023 county budget, and be it further resolved that the county clerk is hereby directed to issue county checks in accordance with this resolution, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Public Safety Standing Committee on 3 February of 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. Cosgrove, Mr. Turk seconds. And I see Sheriff Porter is there to tell us about it.
So, yes, this is the maintenance contract for our radio system, so it serves all emergency services in the county and also covers our mobile radios in the cars, dispatch center, stuff like that. So we need this to keep it running. We'll need one in the future, but we really got to keep this one running until the new one's in place.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we got to keep the radios turned on. So all those in favor of this expenditure signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Number 14, excuse me. A resolution adopting the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan. Ms. Hagee.
This is resolution number 23-14. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval to adopt the Richland County Comprehensive Outdoor Recreation Plan as the county's guide for future outdoor recreation improvements and development. And be it further resolved that the Richland County Board of Supervisors request the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources to provide eligibility to Richland County for participation in state and federal cost sharing programs for an additional 5-year period. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall become effective upon passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Fair Recycling and Parks Standing Committee, 25 January of 2023.
Okay, you've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. Frank makes a motion? Yes. Do I have a second? Ms. Fleming. And somebody want to talk about this? Mr. McGuire?
I'm just wondering, is this plan separate from anything connected with the county fair, which is be classified as recreation? That's why I'm wondering.
Right, I don't think it relates to that. No,
All right.
no. Is it, Carrie? I can't remember.
It's a 58-page document.
Carrie,
I think that is included. This
Supervisor Severson, if you would speak to that.
Yeah, I can't really speak to this. Oh, Carla's online. This is kind of the first time I really looked at this, but
Okay, does somebody have good knowledge of this outdoor recreation plan?
I can speak briefly on it, Chairman, if you'd like.
Yes, please do. Is that Ms.
So-
Ritzer?
No, this is Carla Doudna.
Carla Dowda. Yes, go ahead, Carla.
So this does somewhat encompass the fairgrounds and the outdoor rec plan. We had them add the fairgrounds to it since it was due for updating because the fairgrounds really hadn't been part of it in the past. So it does involve the fairgrounds as part of the projects that we're looking forward or that we're looking to do in the future with the parks.
So it does include the fairground.
It does, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Frank?
Thank you. I've scanned through this document, looked at a few sections. It's really informative. One of the things I see missing is our logo, our county logo that we've set up to do on all our paperwork and everything. And if this is going out as a regional planning, I think we should make sure our logo gets out on that. I don't know if this is a changeable item at this point or not.
Okay,
It can be changed, Mr. Chair, if you'd like to have the logo added to it, absolutely.
county logo. Yes, good idea.
there's a couple other questions.
Corp Council says no problem. Mr. Severson?
Mr. Chair, have a couple things. I think one here should be added. I think we should include the UW campus property as our recreation plan because there are hiking trails that are behind that facility. We do have tennis courts and the soccer thing. So even though that it doesn't fall under the oversight committee of the Fair Parks and Recycling, it's still a recreational opportunity that we have here in Richland County. So I think somehow we should incorporate this, whether this passes tonight, we can come back and make an amendment to this or not. I'm not positive. That's where I'm gonna need to talk with, I think with this Corey that helped draft this, or maybe Mr. Wendell. I don't know. I got a
Okay.
couple other things too.
Supervisor Severson, it has always been a thought of mine, a goal to probably designate the hilltop there behind the campus where the hiking trails are as a county park. And I know we don't have a lot of money for things right now, but to me, that seems like a excellent use of that property. Mr. Frank?
So on page 31, it does talk about tennis and pickleball at the Richland campus and Richland Center. So there is some documentation in there. I guess we just want to make sure that everything we want in there would be there.
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Carroll?
Yeah. On page 2, the second paragraph basically says that it's to be reviewed annually and it's flexible. So I think there's plenty of opportunity to add stuff if we want to.
Right, okay. Ms. Gentis?
Walking trails, and I actually, the whole thing, I agree with. I'm not sure if we should put the tennis courts in there now because right until June 30th, they're really under the jurisdiction of the UW Platteville. So I don't know how that works. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, nor do I. Pickleball courts, that's what they should be.
Well, Dwayne Simonson is working on making a pickleball court out of one of the tennis courts, and that's gone through our committee. And so I think it's all good. I don't think it's bad to put it in the plan. I just don't know how it all works legally. That's all.
Mr. Carroll pointed out that the plan will be revised.
Yeah.
Periodically or annually? I can't remember what he said, annually, so
Yeah, it's good.
I think there's room to expand in the future.
Okay.
Mr. Severson.
My other comment to this is that this is all nice to have this great outdoor recreation plan. And it kind of states in here at some places that we should adapt to this or should abide by this in some way, shape, or form. I know this is not like a written law or statute by any means, but there's a lot of things in here that require funding and money that we don't have and that the county is not allocated and they've taken away from the parks to be able to provide some of these services. So I just want the county board to realize that while we have goals in here and that we want to meet at certain things, there's just not the funding available right now to be able to even take a start at doing this. We have a plan. We don't have any funding to continue this or even grow that.
Thank you. That's good admonition. Mr. Carroll.
Yeah. Along those same lines, there is a section that points out their capital plan over the next few years. So as we approve this, we're kind of committing or acknowledging that those will be on our plate.
Okay. So you've heard pros and cons, mostly about financing. Isn't that really the crux of most of our discussions? And it's a plan. It's there. It can be revised. But I guess we're asking for your approval of this plan, possibly preliminary in nature, but it's there and it'll become a part of the strategic planning document. So I'll ask for your approval. All those in favor of this outdoor?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. McGuire.
the vast majority of our outdoor recreational programs lie within the city of Richland Center and the municipalities of Viola, Lone Rock, and whatever. So is there some sort of could there be some sort of a conflict of interest, more specifically control over what's needed and where it goes and who supervises it?
Who are you asking?
I guess
Anyone. Mr. McGuire thinks there could be a conflict of control. But to my way of thinking, Dan, I'll take a crack at it. Richland Center, for instance, is a city and it has a lot of things in it. It has taxpayers, it has parks, it has, but you know what? The bottom line is, it's part of the county. It does have its own control over things, but it is part of the county. Viola, the same. So my way of thinking, what's good for Viola is good for the county. What's good for Richland Center is good for the county. Right? That's my way of thinking of it. I may be too simplistic, but I like it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good, the resolution is adopted. Number 15, a resolution authorizing the Richland County Ambulance Service to apply for and accept a grant of federal funds. Ms. Heggie.
This will be resolution number 23-15. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby granted for the ambulance department to apply for and accept a grant of federal funds from the Assistance to Firefighters Grant administered by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, in the amount of $455,992.50. The match to the grant is $22,799.62, with a total project cost of $478,792.12. And be it further resolved that the 10 fire and EMS agencies participating in this grant project will cover the grant match amount. And be it further resolved that the director of the ambulance service is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the county such documents as are necessary to carry out this resolution. And be it further resolved that approval is hereby granted for the grant funds to be spent in accordance to the terms of the grant. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Public Safety Standing Committee on 3 February of 2023.
Thank you. You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. Renish, seconded by Turk. And is Director Gudgeon on the line?
Yes, I am, Chairman Brewer.
Could you speak to this, please?
So this grant opportunity came about after having some discussion with the Public Safety Committee in regards to the radio project and the cost of the equipment and the potential need for another tower to be built. So I brought to them for their approval, and then I reached out to all 15 public safety agencies that respond in the county to see who wanted to participate. I did this with hand delivered letters, emails, phone calls. 10 of the 15 departments responded. This grant, if awarded, will help all the agencies that are participating to buy new mobile radios and portable radios for their response vehicles and their personnel to make our equipment compatible with the future radio upgrade.
Okay, so we get the new system, we'll have radios that can speak to it, Mr. Severson.
Mr. Chair, could we please get on record, now that we're all recorded here, who those 10 departments were that Darren reached out, or that he reached out to all of them, but who are the 10 departments that responded back to them? So we at least have some documentation for further reference that.
Okay, Director Gudgeon, did you hear that question?
Yes. So the agencies that are participating are Blue River Fire, Blue River EMS, Muscadet Fire, Muscadet EMS, Lone Rock Fire, Lone Rock EMS, Ithaca First Responders, Cazenovia Fire, Cazenovia EMS, Richland Center Fire, and the Richland County Ambulance Service. The 5 agencies that did not respond back were Lafarge Fire and Lafarge EMS, Viola EMS, Viola Fire, and Yuba Fire First Responders. Those are the 5 that did not.
Thank you. Okay. Now the radios, I have a question, Director Gudgeon. The radio tower system will not be ready for a while. What do we do with this money in the meantime? Let it accumulate interest or what?
So the radio, if we're awarded the grant, we won't start to see letters being sent out to any of the applicants probably until June of this year. I believe the grant award timeframe, if you're given, is 18 months. The radios that'll be purchased will be able to be programmed for the current system if the new system isn't up and ready yet. And then it'd just be a matter of reprogramming them once the tower system's up. But I think the timing will match pretty close to what we're doing with the towers.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Seep.
one question for Mr. Gudgeon. Does this mean that the 5 entities who chose not to participate will not be participating in this benefit?
What it means is they wouldn't be participating in this particular grant program. Now, each individual department can also write for this grant, and it typically opens up the beginning of each year. So the 5 departments that did not participate would have an opportunity to either write their own grant. I have not been told whether they did or did not do that, but they could. They could write a grant themselves for the same program in early 2024. And the fire departments that were listed can also write a grant through the Wisconsin DNR, which is a 50-50 grant that could be used towards the purchase of mobile radios. So to answer your question specifically for this grant, no, they would not be able to participate. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't assist them in any way I could in writing for future grants to help them fund the purchase of new radios.
That's a very good gesture. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation. I think we ought to go ahead with this. What do you folks think? All those in favor signify by saying. Harry?
Just want to make one more comment, Mr. Chair. Thank you. If this grant, if we do not get awarded this grant, or this grant's not awarded to Richland County or us, or to Richland County Ambulance Service on behalf of the county, then I'm under the understanding that we as a county would have to now spend some money to equip these departments with radios. Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, someone's gonna spend the money. Yes, I think that's true, Terry.
I can speak to that, to the effect that in our bonding that we have our authorization resolution out there. Part of covering some of the subscriber radios was going to be handled in that. Now we're reaching complications too, though, in our civil work on understanding if our towers are going to reach where we want them to reach in our green fill sites, right? Is that the correct? Green field. I messed that up in our jargon there. Our green field sites, sites that we'll be procuring and potentially putting up our own towers at our own expenses might chew into that. So we're hoping that this grant can come in and augment that and still be able to provide some financial aids to these subscribers because of our funds that we plan on borrowing, more than potentially what was expected is going to be put towards actual towers and things hanging on them versus radios and cars and on belts. Did I answer that correctly? Thank you.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Okay, all those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Number 16, a resolution relating to the county obtaining a tax deed to certain tax delinquent real estate in the village of Viola. Ms. Heggie.
This is resolution number 23-16. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby granted for the county to execute and issue a tax deed in the favor of Richland County to the following described parcel of real estate in the the village of Viola, which is known as tax parcel number 186-1833-1470, as to which the county owns and holds the following unredeemed tax certificates for the following years. So the tax year of 2017, certificate number 403, the face for a total of $607.29.
Ms. Heggie, I'm gonna interrupt you. There are 5 years involved here for a total of $3,008.99. Is that correct? Yes. So, thank you. Just trying to make your job easier tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, you've heard the resolution. What is your pleasure? Mr. Frank? Ms. Fleming? Any comments from the crowd?
I have to now do work, but yes, this would be the first step.
That's good. Mr. McGuire?
I'm confused by these amounts here. There was rather small amounts for 4 dates, but one date was $1,879. What's the explanation for that? Was there an attempt to pay there, and then after 1 month they couldn't make any more payments? And is that
Well, we happen to have County Treasurer Jeffrey Even here to explain that.
I can answer that question. What this is a vacant half-acre lot in the village of Viola that formerly had a residence on it. In the year of 2018, the house burned down, the fire bill remained unpaid and was put on the tax bill as a special charge. So that's why there's a
Okay, thank you.
substantial expense on that year.
Then there was a reduction in the tax because it was vacant land with no structure, so
Correct.
it all makes sense. Okay. What's your pleasure? Do you think we should acquire this property? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Number 17, a resolution relating to the county obtaining a tax deed to certain tax delinquent real estate in the town of Orion. Ms. Heggie.
This will be resolution number 23-17. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby granted for the county to execute and issue a tax deed in favor of Richland County to the following described parcel of real estate in the town of Orion, which is known as tax parcel number 020-4212-4200, as to which the county owns and holds the following unredeemed tax certificates for the following tax years. Would you like me to read that, sir?
No, why don't you just say the 8 years and the total?
The total, which is 8 years with a total of $1,721.66. The legal description is the paragraph below that. And then be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. The resolution was offered by the Public Works Standing Committee 9 February of 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure? Mr. Cosgrove? Seconded by Ms. Fleming. And any questions? All right. Those in favor of the resolution acquiring this property signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Number 18, a resolution approving repair of roof on Wallace Student Center. Ms. Hagee.
This is resolution number 23-18. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that approval is hereby given for a project consisting of repairing the Wallace Student Center roof to the bid of Interstate Roofing and Waterproofing, Inc. of Onalaska, Wisconsin, in the following amount of $18,725 for necessary roof repairs as described in the base bid. And be it further resolved that the funding for the project shall be covered through 2023 short-term borrowing funds. And be it further resolved that the county administrator shall have the authority to enter into a contract with Interstate Roofing and Waterproofing, Inc. of Onalaska, Wisconsin, and has authorized of up to $5,000 to cover contingency expenses for the project. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Education Standing Committee on 13 February of 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure, Ms. Gentis? And Ms. Fleming seconds. Ms. Gentis, do you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, we've had significant leakage in this area. There's several areas of Wallace Student Center that we borrowed to do the money to fix it, but since we're sort of in a stalemate at the moment, we're just fixing the area that has the most leakage, that has the leakage right now. And they did say that they would hold the bid. Hopefully, they didn't say they'd hold it. They said that they thought that the bid would hold of the same amount if we did decide to go ahead and fix some of the other areas of the roof. Is that?
Well, it wouldn't be for the same amount, but.
No, I mean, we have bids for all the different areas.
Right, okay.
And
You're not asking for approval of all.
we're not asking for that. I just wanted to let people know that we decided not to do all the areas because we're waiting.
So this is a critical need?
Yes.
You're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Whose behest was this? The UW system or was just
Education
Richland County?
Committee?
The education committee.
So UW wasn't requesting this at all?
No.
Well, yeah.
They were.
They are. They've been requesting it for a while, that they're having problems, but,
So they're requesting something that then they don't want to occupy in July?
well, we don't know that. I mean, we're in charge of the building, so want to make sure that there's no leakage and making it worse.
If I can add a comment, Mr.
Yeah.
Chair.
Yes.
So it's,
Administrator Langrick.
the areas of the leak that we're going to be remedying with this project is in the fire vents directly over the stage. So there's also been a petition from folks from the area players and folks that
Yeah.
utilize that auditorium area to patch that hole up in order to preserve that part of the building, as well as alleviate having a kiddie pool sitting on the stage that's currently catching the water. And the embarrassing thing that you can do is go in there in the dark because it's all closed up and look up and you can actually see the light coming through the roof. So
Well,
this
there's
is to
there's a
remedy
lot
that
of
area.
money in that stage and the rigging and all of
Right.
that stuff in that
Right.
theater.
We need to
that can't be
preserve it.
ruined. Okay, this is to make a repair that is vitally necessary. All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Number 19, a resolution declaring intent to remove East Hall from the terms of the UW agreement. Ms. Heggie.
This is a resolution number 23-19. Now therefore be it resolved by the Richland County Board of Supervisors that the Wisconsin Board of Regents and interested area partners be advised that the county is interested in removing East Hall from the current memorandum of agreement, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective upon its passage and publication. This resolution was offered by the Education Standing Committee on 3 February of 2023.
You've heard the resolution. What's your pleasure, Mr. Reddish? Mr. Frank seconds. And do we have any comments here? Mr. McKee?
Is there a purpose for the building? I mean, does the county have a reason for pulling it out?
Well, yes, we do. And I guess I'd like to get into that in closed session. But
Yeah,
you deserve an
that's something we
explanation.
should be talking about in open session.
You deserve some explanation, and East Hall was, you can argue, was it part of the campus, wasn't it part of the campus? It came along later. I guess it was built as a HHS consortium building originally. Then it became home to the UW extension, and we have plenty of other places that we can house them. They like it there. They like that little piece of, it's kind of landlocked there almost. There's a driveway on one side and then the creek goes behind it. So then Highway 14 is in front of it. There's not a lot of space there, but it's something that obviously something else can be done with.
Mr. Chair,
We're not deciding what's going to be done with it. We're just going to ask, can we take it out of the agreement right now? That's all this resolution is doing.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Carroll.
as I read the wording, it's really just saying we're interested. That we're not committing to taking it out with this resolution. Is that correct?
We have the intent. It doesn't say interest. We have the intent. So after this, Mr. Wendell will look into the legal aspects of doing it.
I guess my concern is without understanding more about the potential utilization, I'd be reluctant to agree to cutting it from the campus at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, would it make more sense to vote on this, bring this up for discussion after we come to open session after the closed session? And move it to further in the agenda?
Mr. Wendell, what do you think of that suggestion?
I think knowing what I do, that it would be beneficial for the members of the board to be made aware of the same information that we have, that might inspire a little bit more favor towards this resolution.
Okay, so can we simply, would this be a table?
Move to
Table.
postpone.
Move to postpone, so I'll entertain that. Mr. McGuire, you're moving to postpone? Until after the open session, closed session. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very much against this. Matter of fact, I strongly urge you not to consider this because you know what people are saying in this county? They're saying, why are you people talking about breaking up that university before anybody has presented a comprehensive plan to save it? They're saying, there's signs all over. Read them. I mean, they're in every community. And people are wondering, why are we talking about selling a building or getting rid of a building or renting out a building when we haven't had a comprehensive plan on how to fix the university?
Okay.
I'm strongly against this.
All right, do I have a motion to postpone discussion or voting until after the Ms. Glesbrenner and Mr. Frank? Although, now we'll take a vote on postponing this resolution. All those in favor of postponing until after the closed session signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we will postpone. Now I will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So move, Mr. Chair.
And I'll read that motion. A disposition of the UW campus, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public property, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business. And did I have a motion?
You don't have a second.
And who made the motion?
Ken
Mr. Renish. And who seconded?
I'll second.
Ms. Gentis, okay. All those in favor of going into closed session?
Do we need to have people in this meeting room staying here? Like,
Well,
we need to
no, I'll ask everyone
specify?
who.
Like,
wants
do we
to
want the
stop.
administrator? Do we want our secretary?
Well, I think the administrator should stay in, I think. Corp counsel and the assistant clerk should be.
The people online.
And people online, Barb, would be the board members.
I remind you that when you come to open session, since you're going to be taking action, you have to wait 60 seconds before you move forward. You can't take action without violating open meeting laws.
Okay, thank you. All right. All those in favor of going to closed session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'm declaring that a unanimous vote, negating the need to do a roll call.
Second.
There, Max.
5, 4, 3, 2, prepare to record.
There we go.
Chair, you are up.
Thank you. Okay, we're now in open session. I have my online folks back with us. They never left. We should still have them. Now I'll entertain a motion to bring forward resolution number 23-19 regarding the question of East Hall. Ms. Glassrenner, seconded by Ms. Fleming. Okay, are we ready to vote on this? Okay.
Wait, we have to bring on postponement, right?
That was the motion to bring the matter
Yeah.
out of postponement. So
Right.
that needs to be voted on first.
Right. So all those in favor of bringing it out of postponement signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, okay. one no. But now we're gonna talk about it. And we're just bringing it back. We're just bringing that motion back. Okay, so now we can vote on it. Yeah, that's what we just did. You voted against it, but you probably didn't mean to. But maybe, it's your vote.
Mr. Chair, do we
Okay,
have to?
anyway, we're back.
Do we have to have a motion again on the
No, I
resolution?
think,
Because we had one before we postponed it.
right,
So it had been moved and seconded, but not voted on. The move was to postpone the vote until further discussion in the closed session. We have now removed that postponement, and so we start where we left off. So there doesn't need to be a new motion to vote.
Original motion was by Ken Renish, seconded by Bob Frank.
okay. So now, just to reacquaint you with this resolution, a resolution declaring intent to remove East Hall from the terms of the UW agreement. And therefore be it resolved that the Wisconsin Board of Regents and interested area partners be advised that the county is interested in removing East Hall from the current memorandum of agreement. So I'll call a roll vote on this, roll call vote. And an I vote will mean you're in favor of this resolution. A no vote will mean you're not. Very simple. So we'll call the roll. Ms. Heggie.
Boyce,
Aye.
McGuire, Caro,
Aye.
Murphy Lopez, Brewer,
Aye.
Seep. Seep,
He's on mute.
Hold on.
Going.
We can skip Seep and come back. Don, you seem to be on mute.
McKee, Renish,
Aye.
Luck,
She's not here.
Manning, Gotchall, Glassspinner, Rudersdorf, Gentis,
Aye.
Turk,
Aye.
Cosgrove, Frank,
Aye.
Severson,
In favor.
Williamson, Cooey,
Aye.
Fleming,
Aye.
Seep,
What do we have for votes right now? Do we have a quorum voting?
Yeah.
we have 13. I have 13 aye and 1 nay.
Yes, Don didn't vote because we had 15 people, right?
We have 13 aye votes and 1 nay.
That'll be a majority, Mr. Chair.
That is a majority in favor of the resolution. So I will declare the resolution passed. Thank you. Now, next thing on the agenda, 21, appointments to various boards, commissions, and committees. Administrator Langrick.
1 second here, I'll pull up a document that went into your file this afternoon. Pull it up on here the screen. So it's a letter to the Richland County Board. Subject is appointments to the City County Red Board representative members. Members of the Rules and Strategic Planning Committee met with the Richland Center Common Council on September 7th, 2023 to discuss further meetings regarding possible amendments to the Economic Development Agreement. The outcome of the discussions was a concurrence to conduct 3 meetings with members from the City Council, County Board, and Richland Economic Development Board, 3 members each.
This group will be discussing multiple city-county projects, including 1, possible amendments to the Economic Development Agreement, 2, possible amendments to the Simonson Auditorium Agreement, and 3, possible transfer of campus loop. To serve as county representation, the chair has appointed the following 2 supervisors, should be 3, including himself, for consideration for county board confirmation. Number 1, District 6 Supervisor Ken Renish. Number 2, District number 7 Supervisor Melissa Luck. And number 3, District number 3 Chair Marty Brewer. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And this little ad hoc committee, not really an ad hoc committee, but this appointment to a special committee will be working with 3 members of the city council and then 3 members of the Red Board. Try to resolve that issue. You're all, I think, familiar with what has happened with the change in county funding mechanism. The city took it upon themselves to assume control by withdrawing from the original agreement and has made their intent to run Red as a city entity. But the county still should be involved in Red. I don't care how you split it. I mean, it's got to be. The Richland economic development has been very beneficial to the county. So I'm in favor of it. Yes, Linda Gentis.
Maybe I'm not reading this correctly, but the 3 things it says it's going to discuss, it says it's not discussing at all how the county and the city are going to work on the Red, for the payment of the Red Board, and I thought that was part of the discussion.
Well, economic development agreement, that's Red. The first thing there.
Well, it doesn't say that.
Well,
I'm serious. To me, that didn't say that, so.
No, it should. And then the other thing that the mayor says he wants to talk about is Simon's. And Simon's, as we know, is come under scrutiny as to its ability to sustain itself without funding from county or city. And unfortunately, we came up with what's the correct word for that, Clint? 133,000 that.
There was deficiencies in their.
Deficiencies, there we
their
go.
budgeted amounts over 2 years. We missed a year in issuing deficiency reports with our transitions in staff. That's on me and my financial teams to be able to provide that. So it led then to requesting for deficiencies for 2 cumulative years, and those 2 cumulative years were over the pandemic as well, so they had reductions in revenues. City is finding it challenging and kind of meeting their obligation and meeting the deficiencies to make up half of the operational expenses as the agreement. So part of that is they're looking for further clarifications on the agreement, because the agreement was put into place years ago, and it's kind of set where that board kind of has a lot of autonomy to make decisions and such. So we're looking to amend that agreement underneath now having 2 entities with administrators and firming up how we're going to financially manage that, control it, and where both partners feel it's appropriate and how much funds they want to continue investing into those services. Can I touch on all the pieces, Mr. Chair?
I think so. And then the last thing listed there, Linda, is the campus loop.
Yeah.
That is the streets leading up to the campus, and the 2 bridges are the subject here.
That needs addressing.
And we had originally thought our previous highways director, Roger Petrick had told us that, well, you should transfer ownership of that to the city because they can apply for grants and get full funding to replace those bridges. The county can't do it because the county owns the land that anyway, the county couldn't do it, he said. So we did some surveying and had it all figured out, and it really never happened. And now the city says, well, why can't the county do this? And I think that Josh is looking at this, isn't he, Clint? Possibly making those county highways.
Yeah, I think they're looking Sean is working with him on that too, so you might want to talk to him about that.
So
Mr. Chair.
I don't have a problem either way. I just think that if we miss out on some sort of grant funding, then we're shooting ourselves once again in the foot. So we'll probably talk about this. The mayor has all gung ho to get down the road on this, and I agree.
Well, it's been on our agenda several months.
We normally, when we do these kind of appointments, we will throw it out and ask for participation, and then we'll delay a meeting, and then the next meeting we'll get it done. The problem is, the mayor wanted to have a meeting already last night. I said, well, Mayor, we don't have anyone. Well, I just appointed people. How come you can't do that? I said, well, because I'm not the mayor.
Mr. Chair, can I just clarify for Linda on the
Yes.
first one? And correct me if I'm stating this incorrectly. The Economic Development Agreement outlines the role of the Red Board in our economic development position. Is that correct?
It does, including financial obligations and
Right. So that's why if we have amendments to that, we can adjust the role of the Red Board and how the finances come out.
Right.
Thanks.
Right. So anyway, these two people and myself have been selected to participate. I was going to say participate in these meetings and try to come to some conclusion. Yes, Bob.
If I can, real quick. Excuse me. I also hope that this joint effort helps some of the communication and some of the talk that goes back and forth that is sometimes misunderstood or misconstrued. At the last city council meeting, there was some great ideas brought up. There was some information that was probably easily attainable, but people just didn't know how to do it and how to gather that information. So I'm really hoping that this joint effort helps improve that shared communication, because we are really all one county and are all working together with the city and the county.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a vote on these appointments, please. All those in favor of these appointments signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I'm back on the line.
Thank you, Mr. Seep. Motion carries. The appointments are made. Administrator's report, Register of Deeds, annual report.
For brevity's sake, I'll mention two items here. Wisconsin legislative session is next Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be in attendance and bringing back notes to share with finance and personnel and you fine folks. Rules and strategic planning is meeting next Thursday, March 2nd. They are arriving at a final product here very shortly on an ethics ordinance. So if you have availability to attend that one, that may possibly be the final kick before it ends up as a resolution and before you folks. So ideas prior to a resolution would be more preferable if you have availability. Thank you.
Thank you. Register of Deeds, no. Okay. We had some correspondence we received, and this is one of those ironic things that this person attempted to send emails to each of you, the county board, but was not able to get through. So they sent a letter instead. Because they sent a letter, we can treat it as correspondence, and I will read it to the Richland County Board of Supervisors. Thank you for your resolution supporting the UW Richland campus and your excellent suggestions for making it a viable entity again. I hope the regents and legislators will realize how valuable our campus is to the county, surrounding area, and most of all to the students who can attend here for an affordable and accessible start to their college education. We realize you have many difficult issues to deal with within the county and applaud you for your stand on this. Thank you, Richard J. Steiner, Shirley J. Steiner. So with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Yes, go ahead.
This is not really a question, it's more of a public comment that you raised. Am I able to speak on something that maybe we should look at for our next agenda or refer to a committee that's appropriate?
Well, I asked you under public
I
comment.
did, but I just didn't think of it until now.
Well, go ahead. We'll pretend we're back at the beginning.
So we're at a year right now where we have like completed our first year of reorganization of Richland County, as far as consolidating committees and stuff. And in lieu of running a business, I think it would be good that either committee or we look back at how this year went as this reorganization happened. And I know in the spirit, like why we wanted to reorganize was it was going to streamline this, it was going to do this and do that. And I think that we're a year into this now, we could like a group of us or county board sit down and discuss what's working well with this reorganization and what's not, and what could we do better with it.
I think that's something I would refer to rules and resolutions, rules and strategic planning. I believe would be the appropriate place for that. So I will take it up with Vice Chair Murphy Lopez and ask for this to be addressed. I agree, Carrie, that it is time. Okay, motion. Ms. Fleming, seconded by McKee. All those in favor of adjournment signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Aye.
No nays.